So UFC 290 gave us one of the biggest upsets of the year. Du Plessis getting the TKO victory over Robert Whittaker in the second round. Guys, this one was absolutely shocking to me and absolutely shocking to a lot of MMA fans. Now, I know a lot of you guys told me that I was underestimating Du Plessis, you know, that he was going to get the win over Robert Whittaker, and I sort of shunned you all a little bit. You know, I sort of didn't really give him much of a chance within this contest, but what a win. You know, this is one of the biggest wins in the middleweight division in quite some time. In the first round, Robert Whittaker did look incredibly good, I thought, but it was towards the end of that round where Du Plessis got a takedown and just laid down bombs on Robert Whittaker, and Rob was unable to get up. So after that first round, I did give it to Du Plessis, but I thought, you know, Rob's going to come back. It's not like he's getting dominated. He did some great work within the first round, and then in round two, Du Plessis hit him with a fantastic jab straight down the center. He rocked Rob big time, and he wailed on him and finished via TKO. This was absolutely incredible. I will definitely not be underestimating Du Plessis from this point forward. I mean, how can you after a performance like that against Robert Whittaker? Robert Whittaker is no joke. One of the best fighters in the world at this stage. Remember, the only fighter that he lost to in the last 10 years before UFC 290 was Israel Adesanya. So if you get a win like that over Robert Whittaker, you're no joke yourself. Obviously, getting this surgery on his nose has helped him greatly. Now, I've had a lot of issues with my nose recently, so I can sort of understand a little bit of why that was such a detriment to him in his last fight against Derek Brunson, and why he didn't really seem to have the gas tank that would be able to take him to a championship victory. So that's why I was sort of leaning towards Whittaker as well. Not only that, coming into this fight, guys, I'll admit, I thought Robert Whittaker was a much better fighter. You know, maybe he still is, but I guess it's hard to argue that he is after getting a beating like that. You know, that was absolutely shocking. I don't think many people saw that coming. And for those of you that did, congratulations. I hope you won some money. Now, as we know, the winner of this fight was supposed to be taking on Israel Adesanya in Australia, which is going to be taking place in a couple of months' time. So it does remain to be seen whether Du Plessis will be facing Israel Adesanya in Australia. Who knows what's going to happen? You know, it is only an 8-9 week turnaround, which is quite short. Having to cut all that weight so quickly just seems like a tall ask, and it's going to be a massive disadvantage for him going into a fight with Israel Adesanya. Because as we know, Israel Adesanya is one of the best strikers in MMA today. So I think Du Plessis needs all the time that he can get. Only Du Plessis can decide whether those 8 or 9 weeks is going to be enough for him to recover and get ready for Adesanya. But it does remain to be seen, you know, what is next for Robert Whittaker from here. I haven't heard much from him in the aftermath of this contest. I guess he's probably just licking his wounds right now. If Israel Adesanya keeps hold of this title, it's going to be very, very difficult to justify him getting a title shot. He might be in a similar situation than what Kobe Covington was in for quite some time, being the gatekeeper to the champion, similar to how Max Holloway is at featherweight as it currently stands. So very sad for Rob. You know, I hope he bounces back after this. Who do you guys think is next for Robert Whittaker after this contest? And do you give Du Plessis any chance against Israel Adesanya? You know, I will definitely not be counting him out, because after seeing what we saw at UFC 290, it's going to be very difficult to count this man out again, especially after putting on such a dominant performance. I mean, if you think about Israel Adesanya, he knocked out Robert Whittaker in their first fight, but in their second fight, it did go a full 5 rounds, and Du Plessis just went in there and finished him within the second, which was quite incredible to witness. He's clearly a very strong guy, and this nasal surgery seems to have helped him a lot with his cardio, because as you've seen in his Derek Brunson fight, he was gassed. He was gassed within the second round, and he barely finished that fight. Within this contest, he did seem a lot fresher. So fantastic fights at UFC 290. Feel free to check out my thoughts on Bo Nickal's contest against Val Woodburn in the description below, or you can just click this up here, that's fine. And I'd just like to thank everyone for subscribing to the channel. It definitely means a lot to me. If you do like this sort of content, please feel free to subscribe. It really does help me out. But I hope you all have a good day. Take care.